A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant development in the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia, the presidents of the United States and Ukraine have jointly welcomed a proposed 30-day ceasefire agreement. This proposal, announced on March 11, 2025, is now pending approval from the Kremlin. The announcement comes amid heightened diplomatic efforts and evolving dynamics in the war-torn region. President Donald Trump expressed optimism about the ceasefire, stating his intention to engage directly with Russian President Vladimir Putin within the week to seek his agreement. The U.S. president emphasized the need for swift action, hoping that the ceasefire proposal could be solidified in the coming days. Following the announcement, Ukraine's government confirmed its support for the ceasefire, which aims to halt hostilities and pave the way for negotiations. The U.S. has indicated that it will resume military aid and intelligence sharing with Ukraine, which had been previously suspended. This renewed support is seen as a crucial factor in bolstering Ukraine's position in any potential negotiations. The ceasefire proposal emerged from extensive discussions held in Saudi Arabia, where U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and National Security Advisor Michael Waltz met with a Ukrainian delegation led by Andriy Yermak, the chief of staff to President Volodymyr Zelensky. After more than 8 hours of talks, both parties issued a joint statement expressing their commitment to the ceasefire, contingent on Russia's approval. The proposal includes key elements aimed at ensuring a cessation of hostilities, such as a halt to missile strikes and drone attacks, as well as the safe transportation of goods at sea. Additionally, Ukraine has called for the release of prisoners of war and civilians detained during the conflict. President Zelensky has reiterated Ukraine's desire for peace, stating that the country has been seeking an end to the war since its onset. He urged Russia to accept the ceasefire deal, framing it as a positive step towards achieving lasting peace. However, Russian officials have indicated that the Kremlin is unlikely to agree to the ceasefire without addressing its own concerns. Sources close to the Russian government suggest that Putin requires concrete guarantees before committing to a halt in hostilities. The ongoing conflict has seen Russia making territorial gains, and without assurances, there is skepticism about Putin's willingness to agree to the ceasefire. The U.S. has taken the lead in facilitating the ceasefire discussions, with Rubio emphasizing that the next steps will depend on Russia's response. He expressed hope that Moscow would agree to the proposal swiftly, allowing for a transition to more substantive negotiations aimed at resolving the conflict. Despite the announcement of the ceasefire, tensions remain high, as evidenced by a recent air attack launched by Russia on Kyiv. Ukrainian air defense forces successfully repelled the strikes, signaling that the situation on the ground remains volatile. In light of these developments, the international community is closely monitoring the situation, with hopes that the ceasefire proposal can lead to a reduction in hostilities and a pathway towards lasting peace in the region. The coming days will be critical as the U.S. engages with Russia to gauge its willingness to accept the ceasefire and negotiate a resolution to the conflict. As both sides navigate this complex landscape, the potential for a breakthrough remains uncertain, but the ceasefire proposal represents a glimmer of hope for an end to the violence that has plagued Ukraine for far too long. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.